Now, you never ask the million-dollar question. Some of you have been jokingly saying, did you just say Lying County, Kentucky? Lying? No. And slurred speech in the citation does not match the speech in the video. Nail him on that. You're basically taking away all his power by saying, and you will see me do this later on. Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to your favorite show on the internet, Raw Law Unfiltered, with your favorite host of all time, the DUI Guy. Plus, today, we are going back into the video that you all know and love, the cop getting pulverized in court. Now, last we left him, Officer Oliver is on cross-examination, and I, the DUI Guy, Larry Forman, am asking him questions. Now, immediately seated to his right is the prosecutor, Lee Wilson. Lee Wilson is going to be sitting there for the duration of my cross-examination and uttering any objections if he might. Now, to his right, your left, or my immediate left in the video, sits the jury. You can see about 4 out of the 6 of them. 2 are off camera. The judge is to my right, and of course, my client and my associate, Evan Bates, are seated directly behind me. So last we left him, Officer Oliver is kind of crumbling on cross-examination. He is uncertain of his answers. He is losing his confidence. If you remember in the previous videos in this series, if you've not watched them, by the way, go check them out. He's kind of like falling apart. He doesn't know what to do. He's losing grip on his case because why? On direct examination, he knows all his answers. He is Officer Oliver. I am the arresting officer. Now he has to answer for his crimes. I mean, for his arrest. See what I did there? By the way, some of you, for the record, I've been reading your comments, and thank you, every single one of you, for commenting on this new series, because I want to know how it's going. How are you feeling about it? So far, it's been nothing but positive, with one caveat. Some of you don't know how to read the description below, it seems like, because literally the very first line of the description is, if you want to see the full video without any interruptions, just click the link. Because some of the comments were like, this guy talks too much. I just want to hear the cop's testimony, by God. The link is in the description below, dog. Just click on it, and you can watch the whole testimony, the full 58 minutes. Direct examination, cross-examination, without any interruptions by this guy. The whole purpose of this series is for you to not just watch it. If you want to watch it, please continue. The whole purpose is for you to watch it with commentary. A lot of you are not lawyers. A lot of you are not judges. A lot of you are not prosecutors. You don't know what I'm doing and why I'm doing it, and I'm breaking it down. This is a teaching experience, and I hope you all are enjoying it. From the looks of it, most of you are. So thank you very much for all your likes and comments and subscriptions. You stop Mr. Fernandez, and he's already pulled over to the side of the road. You pull up behind him. You get out of the car, and you approach his driver's side window, right?
Yes.
One of the most common indicators that you look for in your training, and you've already alluded to this, you said, and you wrote it in the citation, his speech seemed slurred. Right? Very important. You guys don't know what I'm about to ask. I know what I'm about to ask because I was there. Speech seemed slurred. Those were exact words taken out of the citation, the criminal uniform citation written by Officer Oliver against Mr. Fernandez, my client. Nail him on that. If they write slurred speech, okay, slurred speech. If you also have video and slurred speech in the citation does not match the speech in the video, nail him on that. If he writes seemed slurred and there's video or no video, nail him on that. Why? Because now he's speculating. Now, you can't object speculation because this is his testimony. It seemed slurred. He's not speculating. He's hearing the speech, 2 years prior and saying, the speech seems slurred, right? Here's the key. If he says that, the police officer says the speech seemed any way one or the other, that opens the door to questioning his opinion because he's not confident already. Ding him on that. Attack him. Find little avenues. He's literally given them to us. Use them. Find them. Right?
Yes.
Have you ever met Mr. Fernandez before the night of the encounter on August 21st, 2020?
No.
Are you familiar with his speaking patterns, the way he speaks?
No.
So you had no frame of reference.
No.
As to. By the way, he didn't even let me finish the question. Did you catch that? So you had no frame of reference? No. He's already coached. He's my puppy. He's my little marionette. He's been marinating in that seat long enough. I have complete and utter control of Officer Oliver. And I did it very subtly. You can do that as well. You just have to maintain power. You don't have to come out yelling, guns a-blazing, say hello to my little friend. There's no reason for that. You're Al Pacino in The Godfather. Remember the restaurant scene where he's looking over at the police officer and what was his name, the Italian mobster? And he's just like, yeah, he's just talking to them before he gets the gun. Yeah, I just want peace between us. Basically, I don't want no trouble. Meanwhile, he's getting ready to kill them both. That's what you're doing to the officer. You're Al Pacino in The Godfather in the little Italian restaurant. You're just, no, I'm your friend. I'm your friend. You don't know his speaking patterns, do you? No, you don't. And you don't know how he speaks, right? No. You have no frame of reference? No. You have nothing to compare it to? No. Because you've never spoken to him before, have you? No. Now, you never ask the million-dollar question. So your opinion is wrong, or something along those lines. So his speech was not slurred. Oh, yes, it was. In my personal opinion, absolutely it was. Boom, you just unraveled your entire 15-minute or 10-minute or 5-minute cross piece that you had. Never ask the final question. Very, very, very important, because the minute you ask it, you are literally giving the police officer an out. It's like you've been setting it up, and now you're just, it's like you're asking for him, knock the first domino, go. And the minute you ask the question, the whole house of cards just falls apart. Never ask the question. You will see what I'm about to do. How he's speaking to you.
No.
What you wrote down and you testified to today, that to you, your personal opinion, because that's what we're here for today, is your personal opinion as to what happened, right?
Yes.
To you, I highlight the fact that it's his personal opinion, because it is. It is not fact. It is his opinion, and an opinion can be wrong, whereas facts cannot. To you, Mr. Fernandez's speech seemed slurred. Your words.
Yes.
Now, some other common indicators that you look for in an individual who you suspect to be under the influence. I just move on to the next question. Notice, watch it again. Watch how powerful it becomes. Watch this. Seemed slurred, your words.
Yes.
Seemed slurred, your words. Now, some other moving on to the next question. The reason I paused there is to allow the jury to digest the fact that it's his own personal opinion and it means nothing. It means nothing. That you look for in an individual who you suspect to be under the influence are, for example, bloodshot eyes, right?
Yes.
You did not see Mr. Fernandez having bloodshot eyes in this case, correct?
Not that I recall.
By the way, he had that little cough too. He's like, oh shoot, yeah, I remember that one. Yeah, he didn't have that, counselor. He's not happy, and he has nothing that he can do about it. He has to sit there and answer questions like a good little government puppet. Another indicator is glassy eyes, right?
Yes.
You did not see Mr. Fernandez having glassy eyes.
Not that I recall.
Otherwise, another one would have written it down, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Otherwise, you would have written it down, would you? Very important, because in the beginning, if you remember, and if you have not seen it, go watch it, because you will learn a lot. In the beginning of the cross-examination, I asked him, your citation is complete, because if you don't ask that question, you give him an opportunity later on down the road to say, oh yeah, I just forgot to write that down. No, it's too late. I already got him within the four corners of your document. It is complete, accurate, and the jury will rely on it. I will rely on it. The prosecutor will rely on it. The judge will rely on it. The jury will rely on it. Everybody was relying on it. And now I'm asking, so you didn't include that? No, I did not. And the fact you didn't include it is because you didn't see it. No, I did not. His case is slowly unraveling right before his eyes, and there's nothing he can do about it. Never talk about what's in the citation. Always talk about what's not in the citation. That's what separates the good lawyers from the amazing lawyers, is you don't just read word for word and you go, and then you did this, and then you saw that, and then you did this, and then you did that. That's the prosecutor's job. Your job as a criminal defense attorney or a pro se litigant, if you did decide to try your case yourself, it's like a speeding ticket or something like that. I don't encourage pro se litigation beyond that personally. I know some people do it. But you're basically taking away all his power by saying, and you will see me do this later on, and he didn't stumble, and he didn't fall, and he didn't use his arms for balance, and he didn't use the car for balance. All the things that did not happen. How do you find those things out? Very easy. You go to the National Highway Traffic and Safety Administration's manual that he was trained under, because he was trained. And we covered that his last training session was like 11 years ago when it comes to DUIs or something. I don't exactly remember off the top of my head doing this video, but those of you who've been following this series know it's been years, it's been over a decade since this cop had DUI, any type of DUI training. So it's very, very important that you ding him on that. And now you're showing that he doesn't even have his clues. He's missing so much of the case. Always talk about what is not there, not just what is there. Everybody knows what is there. Just read the citation. When you start talking about what's not there, that's when the jury goes, oh, interesting. So following your training, you saw these 3 things, but you did not see these 15 things. And hopefully the positives will outweigh the negatives. Mr. Fernandez did not have a flushed face on the night of August 21st, 2020.
Not that I recall, no.
Same style of
Otherwise
question.
you'd write it down, right?
Yep. Now, these 3 particular indicators, NHTSA explains is, please stop me if I'm incorrect and if you don't remember from your training. And of course, by the way, we've already talked about you never, ever, ever use acronyms in court without explaining them first. And just a few minutes prior, I explained that NHTSA is the National Highway Traffic and Safety Administration. You don't have to keep doing it over and over every single time. Your jury is aware of it at this point, so you can say NHTSA with confidence. Those of you who may be watching this video for the first time, first of all, again, welcome to the channel. I have a whole series on this. I have a whole playlist called How to Win in Court, and I'm going to keep cranking these out on this video and subsequent videos. As a matter of fact, my associate's jury trial, this is going to be a really interesting one. I'm going to be breaking down my associate's trial in a subsequent video, so be on the lookout for that because there's going to be a whole lot to unpack in there. And again, for those of you who may be wondering, well, why does this guy keep interrupting? I just want to watch the cross-examination. The link is in the description below if you want to watch the video from start to finish without any interruptions whatsoever. It is a 58-minute and 24-second video, and the link is literally the top one in the description below. Because alcohol makes the cells dilate, it reddens the skins and makes the person feel warm. Do you remember that from your training?
During our training, they may mention multiple things like that, but from my experience in dealing with...
Okay, right there. I'll be honest with you. I made a mistake. In hindsight, I'm going to admit it freely right here on the air. I should have said, objection, Your Honor, non-responsive. Because I asked him a question, and his first answer was...
During our training, they may mention multiple things like that.
During our training, they may have mentioned multiple things like that. But then he starts answering more. Listen to this.
But from my experience in dealing with hundreds of individuals being under the influence, you get different signs from everyone. So,
but in my experience dealing with hundreds of individuals, officer, that's not the question I asked. What I should have done in that moment was say, objection, Your Honor, not responsive. That's what I should have said. And then again, re-ask the question. My question was to you, officer, these are all indicia of intoxication. Yes or no? Yes. Were you trained in the academy to those? Yes or no? Yes. Thank you. Then if the prosecutor on redirect examination wants to re-ask him, well, tell us about your experience. That's fine. There's no problem there. But he he is not permitted to extrapolate on his answer. A lot of attorneys, by the way, and I've fallen into that trap many, many times, so don't fall into that trap anymore. Now you know, and now you will never fall for that trap again. When a police officer starts extrapolating, remember Camille Vasquez on the Amber Heard trial? When Camille Vasquez would ask Ms. Heard something and she would just start yelling, Ms. Heard, excuse me, Ms. Heard, excuse me, Ms. Heard. That's not what I asked. It's basically the equivalent of objection non-responsive, which a lot of times that did happen. And they kind of protect each other. You would hear Ben Chu sometimes stand up and say, Your Honor, objection non-responsive. The judge would admonish Amber and tell her to answer the question that is being asked. Very important. Very, very important. And a lot of prosecutors say, Your Honor, he's just explaining his answer. And some judges will roll with the punches, especially in the rural, small community like such as this one. This is Lyon County, Kentucky. Some of you have been jokingly saying, did you just say Lyon County, Kentucky? L-Y-I-N-G? No, I said Lyon, Lyon County, Kentucky. I like lion only with a Y, like the animal, although it's kind of funny. Lyon County, Kentucky. You can't make this stuff up, folks. This is a real place. This is where Eddyville is, where our prison is. And we have the women's prison as well. Anyway, the point is, never let the officer get away with not answering your question. You are in charge. I gave him a little bit of rope because I was hoping he'd hang himself with it because he's a dunce. So I kind of gave him the benefit of the doubt, and that was my mistake. It didn't pay off. Don't let it happen to you.
So everyone may not have the same reactions when they're under the influence.
But in this particular case, you did not see either of those three, correct?
In this particular case, I didn't see that, no.
I still did the job of bringing him back. I don't care about your answer, officer. I am the one testifying here. And I'm saying there was no flushed face, there was no bloodshot eyes, and there were no glassy eyes. Yes or no? No, I didn't see those. Okay, thank you very much. Moving on. Your answer is irrelevant. You've also stated that at some point, Mr. Fernandez admitted to you that he did have a couple of beers that night, correct?
Yes.
And you are aware that in the Commonwealth of Kentucky, it is legal and lawful to operate a motor vehicle after consumption so long as you are not under the influence of alcohol, correct?
Correct.
This is probably the most important question that you will ever ask a police officer. I have gotten objected to this question on multiple occasions. Mr. Wilson, I don't believe objected in this case. But did you hear the question? It is very, very specific. I am basically asking him, it is legal to drink and then drive so long as you are not under the influence of alcohol. Now, some jurors, you got to be careful. Some jurors will disagree with that statement and you will never find out. They may be religious. You have to find this out in voir dire, in jury selection. They may be religious. They may have personal animosities. Like once I had one sip, nobody should be getting behind the wheel of a car. But you just got a law enforcement officer, a government agent to admit, yes, you can drink and then drive so long as you're not under the influence. So just because the client admitted, Mr. Fernandez in this case, admitted to having 2 drinks, doesn't mean anything. He can have 2 drinks so long as he's not under the influence. By the way, did I tell you all? We're on a new schedule. Every day, new video, 6 p.m., no exceptions. Listen, folks, it's been a pleasure. Thank you all so much for joining me. I will continue this series on how to win in court. If you want to watch the whole video, the link is at the top in the description below, so go check it out. Thank you all very much for joining me on Raw Law Unfiltered, your favorite show on the internet, with your favorite host, the DUI Guy Plus, signing out. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, everybody.